Hello, welcome to day 10 of these daily vlogs. If you've been paying attention, if you've been following along, it is the 10th day so far of 365. That doesn't mean I'm going to do a video every day. I'm just going to say that until I miss a day, and then I'll just probably forget that aspect of it. Yesterday I was talking about American Idol. They're coming back to ABC, which is exciting, which is very exciting for all the people who are going to be on the show. And I made the comment that they should let people do original music. I think that would be unique. People would enjoy watching that. And I got a comment that they should allow, bands to come on the show, because there's a lot of incredibly talented bands out there. And it got me thinking, and made me realize that I wanted to share something with you guys about American Idol specifically, probably The Voice to some extent as well. But it's specifically American Idol and the way that they went about, and I'm assuming will probably go about again, picking people to be on the show. And why you rarely see people like Adam Lambert, who walked in and seemed like he knew what he was doing from the get-go. And I think it's actually because Adam Lambert kind of played this game as well. So mad respect to him for pulling that off. American Idol was all about the journey, the story. They were not looking for the best singer. And here's why I say that. I think I've shared this story. I don't know when I've shared it, so if I haven't, well, here you go. When I was auditioning for American Idol, I was in Dallas. There were 3 rounds of auditions before I got to the judges themselves. There were 3 rounds with different producers. And it was like a 4 or 5 month process before you even got to Simon and the rest of them. But during one of those rounds, it was the second round, there were two auditions the same day. You went and sang before a couple of producers, and then you went, if you made it through that, you went upstairs to the executive producers. And if you made it through that, then you got to sing for the actual judges. And by the time you got to the actual judges, you had a pretty good idea who was going to make it through and who was there to make a fool of themselves. That's another story altogether. But the day that we sang for the executive producers, there was a guy in the waiting room, all right? He was this, good-looking 20-something-year-old black guy who, it's a room full of singers. And you know someone's good when a room full of singers all shuts up to listen to you sing. This guy was phenomenal. There would be different groups that would pop up and would sing, little bits here, little bits there. People would break off and just start singing. That's what you do. And then this guy would sing. And I didn't meet him. He was in the other side of the room. I would just hear him sing. And the whole room would go, oh, wow, what? Okay, well, I remember having a conversation with somebody in the waiting room and going, well, I know who's going to win this year. Like, that's how good this guy was. He was unbelievably good. And he didn't even make it past the first round of producers that day. He came out of the room and went home. And we all looked at each other and thought, nope, nobody's making it through. Nobody is going to make it onto this show. This guy is a better singer than most of us put together. He was just phenomenal, but he was too good. He was too talented and too put together, and he wouldn't have a good character arc. There was no journey for this guy. He was already there. And for them, they don't view contestants as, let's find the absolute best singer, stick them on a show, and have them battle it out, which may be more what they do on The Voice. But American Idol, it was more, let's cast a show where we can have characters who are going to have this character arc, and they're going to get better, hopefully, and you're going to get to see this transformation, a la Carrie Underwood. Think about her season. She showed up and she was this shy country girl. There were stories about her going out with other contestants on the show, and people recognize the other contestants and ask Carrie to take pictures of them with the other contestants. Like that's who Carrie Underwood was before American Idol. And then she gets on the show and she has this amazing journey and this, transformation, and now she's Carrie Underwood. Well, that's the point. That's what they do. And that's one of the reasons why they won't put these incredibly established, developed got it all together, bands and groups and individuals on the show, at least they wouldn't in the previous incarnation, because they were already there. And I think Adam Lambert, I mentioned him earlier, I think Adam Lambert played the system. I think he figured this out, because I believe he showed up and he didn't quite tip his hand all the way. He made it seem like he was less than he was. And they fell for it. They bit enough. And then he got on and it was like, oh, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. He's like a Broadway guy, and he's phenomenal. So those are just some thoughts on the show, why they are not likely to get these great, amazing, established bands on the show. If they were to go the route of letting bands go on the show, you would find these bands who are like pretty good but still trying to figure it out, and here's our journey. It's not going to be, we've been playing together for 40 years and now we're amazing and we've already done some touring and been on the radio, and it's not likely to be those bands, I don't think, just based on what it was before. Now I don't know what the revamp is going to look like. I don't know what the format's going to look like. Hopefully they change the way they went about it, and open it up to some people who are a little more put together, a little more ready for it. But that's just not what they did before. So there you go. A little bit of insight. Hopefully, that made sense. I'll talk to you guys